Hello, welcome to the Arts Council of the Southern Finger Lakes 2013 Decentralization Regrant Program Budget Page Explanation video. Ginny's helping me out today, and
Hi, everybody.
and we're going to go over the budget page. So obviously every budget is separated into income and expenses. I'm going to go over the income section first up on the top, and as you can see, each area, well, there's 4 columns. There's column A, B, C, and D, and there's rows 1 through 12 in your income section. So each field or box has a corresponding letter and number. So if you look at box A1, it says project income. List all funding sources for this project secured and anticipated. Obviously, you're going to have anticipated income because this project isn't starting until 2013, and this budget is a proposal, part of your DEC grant request narrative application. So obviously the first section of your income is going to be the DEC grant requests because you're anticipating that you're going to receive a certain amount of money. Now Ginny's already started typing in some information. We were using the example from up above in the budget page where they're talking about organization requests a DEC grant of $1,500. You must match it with at least $1,500 of cash and or in-kind donated goods and services. Your total project cost will be at least $3,000. So Ginny started writing in, like I said, some of the information. So the DEC grant request was $1,500 in cash, and Ginny typed that in. And the nice thing is this form will do all the math for you. It'll add everything into the correct section. You're going to have other sources of income, obviously, because you need to match your DEC grant request. You might have money from another foundation, organizational cash, maybe ticket sales, bake sales, whatnot. We have the foundation A donating $500 to our project and organizational cash of $500 towards our project. Now we get into the in-kind contributions. There's been some confusion with in-kind, and really the best way to think of it is pro bono services. So if you go to the dentist, you don't have any money, the dentist gives you his service for free. And it's very generous of the dentist. Or maybe you go to an individual that has marketing experience and they've been paid for doing marketing in the past, and they give you their service for free, or sometimes they might even give it to you at cost, so less than it would count as. In this example, we're assuming that the marketing person is giving you their services for free. Now that marketing person can show that this service would cost $500. I've been paid $500 for my marketing services in the past. I have stubs to show this, tax information to show this. This is a legitimate fact. If I decided to come and help out your organization with some marketing, that's nice, and normally you would have to pay someone $500, and I can get that estimate offline. That's very generous of me, and I'm volunteering, but I am not giving you a service that I've ever been paid for in the past. I have no way of proving that. Therefore, I'm just volunteering. It's not an in-kind contribution. So just think of it as pro bono. And Ginny already typed in all those numbers, and as you can see, the column B added itself up to $2,500, and column C added itself up to $5,000, which makes our total income $3,000. So then if you scroll down to the expenses section, you'll see that box A14 says project expenses. List all expense items. You'll have 15 through 23 will be examples of expense items, and most of your expenses will fall into one of those categories. If you need additional categories, you can type them in on your own. So what I want to go over first is, if you look at column B in box B14, you'll see it says amount anticipated to be covered by the grant. In box C14, it says amount not covered by the grant, so your match. So I'll give an example. Let's say your total artistic fees, your total artistic expenses are $1,200. You want the grant to cover 1,000 of those dollars. But since you're contributing income of your own, you're going to cover $200. Or maybe in another example, you have the grant cover all of your artistic fees, so it covers all $1,200 and you don't cover any of them, and you cover other things. So the idea is that you're sprinkling your grant throughout your expenses, and you're sprinkling your match throughout your expenses. And the reason for this is that the panelists want to see what you're spending the grant money on and what you're spending your own money on. For instance, Hospitality, food or booze. State funds really don't want to pay for those types of things, but you can certainly pay for them, especially if they're going to make your project better or you decide that's important. You can spend your money however you want. Grant funds need to be spent in a certain way. The grant likes to fund artistic fees, likes to fund marketing, some technical fees, and it just all has to make sense. You got to remember these are state funds.
I think there's a really important thing to remember here. You can see that there's $500 in marketing that is not covered by the grant. This is the in-kind that we listed in the income. You need to make sure that whatever your in-kind cash was on your income side is matched on the expenses side so that the in-kind basically cancels itself out. That's very important to make sure that your budget balances.
Definitely. Your budget needs to be balanced because obviously, like we said before, you're contributing half of the total project's cost in your own finances of some way, and then the grant is covering the rest of that. So column B in the expenses section is going to total up to your grant request because obviously if column B is the anticipated amounts to be covered by the grant, the total of those anticipated amounts is going to be the grant. And then column C is going to total up to your match because those are the amounts not covered by your grant. What are they covered by? Your matching funds. So that's going to be your total. And if you look onto the previous page, we won't go to that right now, but if you look onto the previous page, you'll see that the budget summary will have letters where it says, what is your DEC grant request? And it will say B2. And that will correspond to B2. Or what is your match? And it will say C29. And that number will correspond to box C29. And same for what is your total expenses? It will say D29. And what is your total income? It will say D13. So that way you know what goes in each of those fields on the previous page. And like Ginny said, make sure it balances. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. My email is grants@earts.org, or you can give us a call, and all of our contact information is listed on the website www.earts.org. Thanks!
Thank you!